So hello everyone. For today, we will be discussing about the intellectual property law in Canada. And here with me are my teammates, Yumera, Christine, myself, and Shreya. Next slide, please. So for our agenda, we will be discussing what is intellectual property, trademarks, patents, copyrights, industrial design, trade secrets, and we'll move on to conclusions. Next slide, please. So, to define what is intellectual property, intellectual property encompasses the creation of the minds, including inventions, literary, and artistic works, design, symbols, name, and images utilizing in a business. So, types of intellectual property are trademarks, copyrights, patents, trade secrets. The purpose of intellectual property is to encourage innovation and at the same time promotes economic benefits for the businesses. Next slide, please. So to define what is trademark, a trademark is an exclusive sign, phrase, word, or symbol that is identifies as a special product and legally sets it apart from others in the market. It is uniquely associated the product with the particular company and signifies the company's ownership of the brand. Trademarks are considered a type of intellectual property as mentioned on the first slides. Next slide. And so to better understand how trademark works, let's use Tim Hortons as an example. So for the requirement, we'll be using Tim Hortons as the name of the coffee shop. In the requirements part, we will also need to have the title, the distinctiveness, and the registrable. So on the distinctiveness, we have Tim Hortons as a title. Now with the distinctiveness, name should be unique and can easily be distinguished from the others. Just like the name that we're gonna use, Tim Hortons. And in terms of registrable, the name should meet the requirements set by the Trademark Office, which is not deceptive, scandalous, or already existing. And the second point, which is registrable, means no one can use the same name as it could raise confusion to its customer. And the term of protection for trademark is 15 plus 15 plus 15 years, or as long as it's renewable, making it a total possible protection of 45 years or more. In terms of ownership, the first person to use or apply the trademark can be identified as the rightful owner of its name. And then for the application process, it is mandatory for someone who is making a business to ensure legal protection, which includes conducting research to make sure the name is unique, filing an application, and providing necessary documents. And by undergoing review to verify all information provided and making sure all requirements are being met for legal purposes. So that ends this slide. The next slide will be covered by Yumera. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. So moving forward, I'll be discussing here about the patent. So let's first discuss what's the patent. So in Canada, patent protects the new inventions or the processes that are, you can say, novel or any useful thing or that's non-obvious. They grant the patent holder an exclusive right to make, use, and sell the inventions for a specific period of time. So what's that validity period for a patent? So patent in Canada, it's valid for 20 years from the filing date of the application, and it's subject to the payment of maintenance fees. However, not everything is covered by patent, not protected by patent. So what are the exceptions for patents? So certain inventions may not be patentable, such as abstract ideas, methods of medical treatment. Medical treatment, I can give you here an example that Roger gave in a class of his brother who is in US, and he invented angioplasty he invented that angioplasty to do from an arm, but for that his brother cannot file that medical treatment for patent because it's an exception for a patent. So anyone can use that treatment to do angioplasty. So that's one example of an exception for patent. Any scientific discoveries without any practical applications, that's all under the exception of patents. So let's move forward and discuss one example of a patent. So I'm here taking a BlackBerry example because it's a notable example for a Canadian patent. So BlackBerry smartphone, we all know, it was developed by Research in Motion, and it the innovative design and the technology behind the BlackBerry devices, including aspects of the keyboard, layout, and email synchronization technology that were all protected by patent. So this patent prevented other companies from copying the unique features and functionalities of the BlackBerry devices for the duration of the patent's validity, giving Research in Motions a competitive edge in the market. So that was all about the patents. Next part will be discussed by Christine. Thank you.
Thank you, Yumera. So now I will be discussing about the copyright. So what is a copyright? So a copyright is the sole or exclusive legal right to copy and publish and sell a work. And in Canada, copyright exists in a work when it is created. Under this, creators are the party that not only writes something but also takes photograph, designs computer software, produces audiovisual materials, composes musics, and designs maps or draws plans or illustrations in either paper or format or other kind of mediums. Next slide, please. So for this one, so what are the copyright protections, or what is copyright protecting too? So first we have the literary works. Literary works are both in electronic and in paper formats. This includes your journals, books, magazines, email messages. We have letters, statistics, law reports, statutes, judicial decisions, forms, court records, computer software databases, and even the both published and unpublished research papers, and your thesis and annual reports as well. Next one is your dramatic work. The dramatic work is also protected by copyright in a compilation of dramatic works in CD-ROMs, video recordings, documentaries, films, radio, television, cable shows, plays, and even choreography. Also, it includes the artistic work as well. So for this one, it is covered that copyrights are collections of artistic works in websites, as well as digital images, drawings, photographs, charts, mosaics, prints, paintings, architectural drawings, blueprints, and maps, and even art slides. So also musical work is also protected by copyright. So songs that are with or without lyrics, audio CDs, cassettes, and even sheet musics. Also, next is sound recording. This includes CDs, talking books, cassettes, or oral history, vinyl records, phonographs, audiobooks, audio cassettes, paper recorded at seminars, audio recordings, also they also CD compilation of sound recordings. Next is the performer's performance. On this one, compilations of performances by performers on records, CDs, and in audiovisual formats, actors, writers, singers, musicians, and dancers, video recordings and films, and recorded performances on tapes, cassettes, CDs, and CD-ROMs. Last one is the communication signal. So both signals from radio and television are also covered by a copyright. Next slide, please. So for the next one is we'll talk about who are the what are the rights of a creator. So in Canada, so this is like a link chain where the creator is the first owner of the copyright in a work, and therefore being the first link in the chain, and links are added each time the author creates or sells, licenses, or gives away all the parts of the copyright. Next slide, please. So next one is the extent of the protection. So in Canada, the owner the copyright is extended until the original owner has as long as he lives, and then after he dies, and the remaining calendar of the year which he is deceased is also covered by that copyright, and then additional 50 years following the end of the year as well. And next slide, please. And for the next one for the copyright exceptions, of course, not all, there are also exceptions in terms of the copyright. Next, for the first one is having the fair use. These are the fair use is for the purpose of character and the use of mainly commercial or non-profit educational objectives, and the type of work protected under copyright, and the quantity and quality of the excerpt utilized to the entire copyrighted work, impact of usage on the copyrighted work's value or prospective market. And another exception is when it is an educational use, in certain situations academic institutions may be exempt from specific uses. Also, it's there's an exemption in archives or libraries for preservations and research, this that are entitled to make copies. Also, in terms of parody, this common fair use practice utilizes portions of a copyrighted work to produce a fresh and humorous work. And the last one is the first sale doctrine, where the copyright holder does not influence the resale of a copy of their creation once it has been sold. So that's it for my part. The next discussion will be discussed by Numera.
Hi again, I'm here to discuss the industrial design concept. So, what is industrial design first? So, industrial design, it protects the visual appearance of a product, such as its shape, pattern, or ornamentation. This protection covers the aesthetic aspects that makes the product visually appealing and distinguish it from other products. So, what are the aspects that are covered in industrial design? So, industrial design covers the unique visual characteristics of the product, including its configuration, surface ornamentation, and any combination of these features. The design must be original and not purely functional. However, the industrial design also have a duration protection duration time. So in Canada, industrial designs are protected up to 10 years from the registration date. The owner must pay a maintenance fees after 5 years to keep the design protected for the full term. Same like a patent, industrial design also have some limitations, like protection does not extend to functional aspects. How the functional and the ornamental feature differs from each other, that I will explain you further in with one example. So functional aspect of a design that are not necessary for the product's operation, that's not covered under the industrial design. It only covers ornamental or aesthetic element that do not affect the product's function. So let's move to the next slide and see understand with an example. So here I'm taking a coffee maker machine example. So imagine a company designs a new coffee maker with functional features, ornamental features. So let's say for functional features, the coffee maker has a specific shape for its water reservoirs, which allow it to hold a precise amount of water necessary for brewing coffee. It also has an innovative filter system that enhances the brewing process. So this is all about the functional feature of the coffee maker. If we talk about the ornamental feature, the coffee maker has a unique stylish outer casing with a distinct pattern and color scheme. The handle of the coffee pot has a decorative shape that matches the overall design and makes it aesthetic. It makes it look aesthetic. So here now what would be the protection analysis and the industrial design is the unique stylish outer casing and the decorative handle can be protected by industrial design registration because these features are purely aesthetic and do not affect how the coffee maker functions. Now, what's being protected by industrial design is the specific shape of the water reservoir and the innovative filter system that cannot be protected because these features are functional. That's necessary for a coffee maker to function properly. So, if these functional aspects are new and inventive, they might be eligible for patent protection instead of industrial design. So I hope this is clear about the industrial design. Now the next part will be discussed by Shreya. Thank you.
So the I will explain the trade secret. What is the trade secret? The trade secret is the basically the information from which the owner is using to give the competitive advantages in the business world. So there are the some unique key features or the information which are used by the owner to in the business or to get the profit from it. The key characteristics of the trade secrets are the secrecy means the unique some features, some processes such as the Tim Hortons has a coffee blend machine, coffee formula, etc. The secret information, if available for the public, that cannot be a competitive advantages for the owner who find out the formula for that particular product or the services. So the secrecy, next key characteristics are the is the economical advantages. Economical advantages provided by the secrecy, and that will be provided next to the how this trade secret is the kept by them. So the protection of the trade secrets I will be discussed in the next slide. How do you protect the trade secret? Secrets are protected by the non-disclosure confidentiality clause, encryption, password protection, lock and key. Non-disclosure means the information. This is also known by the confidential information, which is signed when the company disclose these trade secrets to the any of them just as the suppliers or the employees who know the trade secrets. They are signed by this contract to protect the trade secrets. They cannot reveal the trade secrets any of them. Confidentiality clause specifically develop and employed by the employees who works in there are such a, for an example, Tim Hortons has so many branches and there are so many workers are working there. They are daily uses these coffees and everything to serve the customer. So they know the basic process of it, so they cannot disclose this trade secrets by the confidentiality clause. The next is the encryption. Encryption means some process of software and the anything code which are secretly encrypted. The description code only known by the owner. Password protection, we all know that if we want to protect some file from the unauthorized access, we can do the password protection and lock and key. If the physically available any formula or the recipe, that document should be kept it in a cupboard and the key and lock. Next is the remedy for the infringement. The if someone broke the rule of the revealing this trade secret to the public, there are some remedies used by the owner to get the benefit from it. Injunction means the court stopped that person to the further use of the that trade secret. Means if I know the Coca-Cola formula and I am making the Coca-Cola soft drink, that the Coca-Cola company injection in me, and the I cannot further use for that product. Damages means company can sue for the compensation or for relieving the trade secret. Third one is the accounting profit, that the company also asks for the profit earned by the company who use the trade secret making the product. Third one is delivery up and the destruction, in which the court directly order the original company that they can go and destroy all the properties and the valuable things which had the trade secret used by the infringer. Next is that the I explained by the Tim Hortons example. The trade secret of the Tim Hortons is the blend and roasting process of the coffees. They have a unique process to the roast the coffee. Protection, they have a confidentiality agreement with the supplier and the employer, and the other than that, the only few people in the company, they knew the recipe of this the coffee roasting and blending processes. remedies for the if anyone can use that or reveal the information to the public, then that will be in the case of injection and the coffee and the Tim Horton also asked for the monetary losses who broke the contract. This is all about the all intellectual property rights. Now you guys know that the we have so many things to protect our unique ideas, unique processes. If we are in the artistic world, then there are the so many things we can do to our personal protection and gain the advantages of them. So ready for the, if you have any idea, so you can do that and take the economic advantages of that. That's all. This is the further references we are using from this, making this presentation. And thank you for our side. Thank you.